So wire twist ties. We've seen them on the market for a very long time, traditionally closing up your bread bag. And there are some misconceptions surrounding the wire twist tie. I think primarily it revolves around the amount of options that are available in your wire twist tie for whatever you would require for your product. And some of those options are, so we'll start with the core. The core of the wire twist tie traditionally has been metal, which isn't always the case. It can also be a poly core, which is non-metal, which has the advent of passing through metal detection for large batch bakery deliveries to ensure compliance with the customer on the other end. Also, back to the metal, there are various gauges that are available from 27 gauge, 24 gauge, 20 gauge, and also different metals that are available, like aluminum. They all have very specific applications depending on what the customer requirement is. There are also options that we have available where you have double wire, either center spaced or spaced, for various requirements for tensile strength, for example. And you would see that typically on our heavier gauge, more industrial material. Next on the list would be revolving around the amount of options for the lamination. So the lamination can be comprised of plastic on plastic. It can be plastic on paper. It can be paper on paper. And again, every option has a very specific usefulness to a customer depending on what they require. And then also the lamination comes in various colors. So the colors can be it's quite vast, and you can look on our catalog to see the amount of different colors that we offer to save some time here. And the colors can be important to, say, a bakery who might want to have quick visual identification of, say, they use red on Monday, green on Tuesday, blue on Wednesday, so on and so forth, for easy visual check-in on their batches by day within the week. On top of that, I think another misconception about twist ties, which is probably the biggest one, is that and we're the only company, as far as my understanding goes, that we're able to print directly onto the twist tie real time, and that can have a lot of benefits, especially for bakeries where you want to have information that's one about compliance, two for the customer benefit of batch code, lot code, expiration dates, even throwing onto, or printing onto, onto the tie a logo for the company. So there's brand identification. These are all really, important things to understand when you're shopping for a solution for your product, that, Plas-Ties can come in with a whole host of options for a wire twist tie to really meet your needs that benefits not only you, but ultimately your customer. I think a good client story about how Plas-Ties has helped a customer really revolves around our experience working with Palm Wonderful. They were twist tying their bags of pomegranates by hand. And, one of the big problems with twist tying by hand is speed is an obvious one, but two, it's the ergonomic damage that, it's not a very ergonomically efficient process to twist tie by hand. They came to us and really sourced out the right machine for their requirements, which was, pomegranates within a box surrounded by cellophane. And on a conveyor system, we were able to work with them to set up one of our units, the XL2, on a pedestal stand to create a very efficient and ergonomic process that not only sped up their facility volume, but also reduced ergonomic fatigue by twist tying by hand. In that process, we created a great relationship with Palm Wonderful, and we had many visits up to their facility to ensure that our machines were working correctly and to train them on how to repair our machines. And also in that process, we discovered that our machine really had some opportunity to be improved. So we worked with them to create a machine that not only optimized their operation, but created a very reliable machine for them as well in that partnership with them.